I'm Tammy.
And I'm Lacey.
We're the Nutrition Twins. We're registered dietitians, personal trainers, and Q coaches for Qinetic.com.
Today we've got a great lunch that you can make in minutes. And you guys have told us that for you, the biggest issue when it comes to having a healthy lunch is time. You don't have enough. And
Who has enough time?
No one has enough time. And we hear you, and we have an awesome recipe. And the secret to this recipe is that you really can make it in minutes, and it uses just a simple item that you can have in your kitchen. Now this is the mason jar. So simple but so genius. And the reason that this is so genius is now you can suddenly have a healthy salad, and we're not talking your rabbit salad.
No.
We're talking a super satisfying salad that you can have in minutes. And it's not gonna have those soggy greens, and it's not boring.
So here's the secret as to why it's not soggy. What you do is you first take your dressing, and this is our lemon vinaigrette. We have a recipe for it on nutritiontwins.com. You put it in it's great. You put it in the bottom of the jar like this. And then what you do is you start layering your denser ingredients like the chicken.
And your non-absorbent ingredients. And what's gonna happen is you put this in your jar, and it's not gonna let the rest get up. And you're just gonna layer your healthy ingredients. So here we have 3 ounces of chicken. This is
tofu works. Tofu would be great, or you could even do grape tomatoes, the dense items that aren't going to absorb that liquid.
You start and you layer. And we're here today making a recipe. It is called our sweet and savory kale salad with crunchy almonds and creamy avocado.
You got it. It's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister, but I've got all the delicious ingredients in front of me. And so this is your protein. So already we're starting off with a salad that's a bit satiating. And what happens is we're gonna layer this, and when we shake it, we're not gonna shake it until we're ready to eat it. And that's when you get the dressing. And you can do this with any of the ingredients that you have in your house. Next, in this recipe, we're using 2 tablespoons of cucumber, and we're just using our hands today.
And again, the cucumber is not so absorbent, so it's not going to soak up all of that dressing.
And then after that, what we really like to do is we like to combine our fruits and our vegetables, and that's the way that you're gonna get some sweetness to your meal. And people don't think about this, but there's no rules when it comes to a salad, and the sweeter the better. And if you're using frozen berries, that's great too, because some of that, as it defrosts overnight, you're gonna let that just defrost right into the dressing, and you're gonna get a sweetness that you can shake up all over the meal. So today we're adding blueberries next. We're gonna add our carrots, and we're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of blueberries, 2 tablespoons of carrots, and actually you can add carrots since it's not perfect, but it works well and it's absolutely delicious. Carrots are a heavier one, you add them, and then you can add your almonds, the 2 teaspoons of almonds in this recipe.
Flying carrots.
2 teaspoons of almonds in this recipe. And then you've also got your avocado, and we love avocado. And who said avocado? I mean, most people are gonna tell you avocado is super satiating.
And the creaminess really adds such a great flavor.
Yes. And then we've also got a half chopped apple here that we're gonna add as well. And another thing is we've got the quinoa. And the quinoa is full of fiber and protein. It's a super satiating grain. It's a power food. So this is making it a super satiating salad. Now remember, we've also got those blueberries, and blueberries are really good for cognitive function. And in fact, they help to prevent age-related decline.
The other thing about the blueberries and the carrots and all of the citrus fruits, they all contain vitamin C, and vitamin C aids in collagen formation, so it's going to help to keep your skin nice, but also after you've worked out, your muscles need to recover, and vitamin C is actually really important when it comes to this. And all of those antioxidants mop up the damage that's been done that happens naturally from your workout.
And from all of these colors that you see in here, these blueberries, they're going to give you tons of phytonutrients, those antioxidants, the powerful nutrients that you need, so that after a workout, you're going to really just prevent those muscles from any of the damage that's natural, but that's done in the course of the day.
And then you top it off with your greens. We have kale here, so I've overstuffed a
We're
little.
kale obsessed.
We are.
We actually, in our recipe, we call for 1.5 cups of kale. And believe you me, if it's mine that I'm making, I'm gonna fit the 1.5 cups in here.
You can press it down as hard as you want.
A big kale fan, and kale is the hot word these days. And truthfully, kale is one of the few foods that activates or helps your liver in both phases of its detoxification. There's 2 phases that the liver goes through to detoxify, and kale is one of the few foods it actually helps in both phases. So If you overdid it a little bit last night.
Had a little too much to drink or too much to eat, kale is your go-to. So this is your go-to salad.
And look at this, it's so delicious. And I have to tell you, I love blueberries. So I'm just gonna put a few more in here. And in this recipe, sometimes if you don't have chicken left over from last night, one of the things that we do is we always keep the hard-cooked eggs around. It makes it so fast and so easy. And we actually use Eggland's Best Eggs, and we actually work with them because we love them. Because first of all, they have 25% less saturated fat than other eggs, 4 times the vitamin D, and 2 times the omega-3 of other eggs. So
Omega-3s are really important after a workout because it fights inflammation so you won't be as sore. The vitamin D is really important because it helps to absorb calcium, and you need strong bones to have a good workout.
And gotta tell you, we're gonna have these around our house, or we do have them around our house all the time. They're the fastest protein on the go.
So now she's shaking it so the
This is what you do
dressing.
when you get to work at lunch. You didn't have any soggy salad, you didn't have anything going on, just sitting in its place. And then, this is like, if you have any aggression at work, I have to tell you this, I think this salad jar was made for that.
So when she's irritated at me, I'm just going to say, go make your salad. Don't come after me.
Look at that, gorgeous and so delicious. And truthfully, you can't say that's boring. Every day, it's a satiating salad. And if you're wondering about what to do and how this is a 2-minute meal, and if you don't have these ingredients at home, there's such an easy thing that you can do. If you want to make a satiating salad, you just start with your mason jar, and actually, and if you want to make it extra fun, now these mason jars, this is the 100th anniversary. They now have this purple limited edition one.
Ball sent us these for their 100th anniversary, and it's fun, and there's clear, and there's purple.
And we have to say, I was a little kid that I definitely wanted a fancy lunchbox, so I can relive my past with the purple, for sure. And so you start with your mason jar. That's all it takes. That's the secret here, your mason jar. From there, you just put on your salad dressing. Remember the bottom? It can be salsa. Whatever you have around your house, the leftovers, healthy ingredients. Just remember, you want to have a quality carb. For us, it's the quinoa here.
You could do brown rice. If you ordered Chinese the night before and you have some brown rice in your house, throw that in.
That's satiating. That's for your energy. That's going to give you that quality that you're looking for your long-lasting energy through the day. Now remember, you want brown rice and not white rice. Most of us know this. And whole grains, because that's going to have the fiber to really last with you much longer.
And again, for the protein, for that absorbent, for the thing that's not going to absorb all that dressing, go for the chicken, tofu, the hard-cooked eggs. All of these things work really well. And then you just want to remember, put in those fruits and vegetables for the antioxidants, for the phytonutrients, really
But remember, there's no rules here. And that's the great thing about salads and the mason jar. Whatever you have at home, literally it will take you 2 minutes. There's no rules. Just throw in your favorite ingredients. When I go around my house, I see leftovers from this or that. One of our favorite things lately are the hemp seeds. You can throw your chia in there, make it nutty, make it delicious, but there's no rules here, and we guarantee you when you do this, you're gonna have a much healthier day than if you went and ordered out, and you're gonna have a much more nutritious lunch than you would normally have.
So this here is our mason jar salads, and anything goes. Like we said, anything goes. Think of this anytime you need a healthy salad. These jars are really easy, keeps everything nice and perfect. And now we're ready to take your questions.
All about healthy lunches.
Thank you. Okay, oops. Let's see, I hit something.
Okay, so as she's looking, I will tell you that one of the things that we've really found with all of our clients is that time is so precious for all of us. We always think it's just us, like, aren't people busy? Don't they? Everyone's so busy. And so when it comes to trying to save time, one of the things that's really important, why we were talking about it's really important to just remember you have leftovers in your house. Anything you have, you can combine and make a healthy lunch. So you're almost always better off bringing something than buying something.
Okay, so here we go. Sorry about that.
Yay.
Kelsey Wills asks, I'm looking for other options besides salads. At work, I have a small fridge. What are some options besides salad? There's a lot of options, and that's a great question. Some of our clients, we have everything across the board, but if you like Greek yogurt, it's a great source of protein and calcium, and from there, it's almost like, in some ways, you can build it like the mason jar. You can keep your Greek yogurt. It doesn't take up much space in the fridge. Throw in some nuts, some berries, and then maybe have a little side salad on the side.
But she said if you don't want salads, you don't have to. The beauty of these mason jars, I guess you can tell we're like recently obsessed because there's no limit to these. What you can pile on, you make your own parfait. So it doesn't have to be a salad, but just leftovers. You can make a burrito bowl in here. You can put brown rice, beans, a little bit of low-fat cheese, and salsa, and you're done. So it doesn't have to be a salad, but it's still going to be a lot healthier than what you order out. And then you can just. Did she say she doesn't have a refrigerator?
She has a small fridge. So you have a lot of options when you have a small fridge, because you could even do a turkey sandwich on whole grain bread with lettuce and tomato and then a piece of fruit. You know, bring your little brown paper bag and just put it in like that. Sandwiches.
You don't need a paper bag when you have a mason jar.
Sandwiches can be great. They really do work. And again, it's about the whole grain and about the lean protein and then the veggies for it. There's antioxidants and for fiber. Okay, at Inspire Yoga NYC asks, is bread the enemy? What's your opinion on sandwiches and wraps? I don't feel full without bread, but have been told that it's bad for us. Is that true?
That's a great question. We get this all the time because let me ask you something. How do you feel after you have a sandwich? Everyone, or almost everyone, will say, good. I feel satisfied after I have a sandwich, which is really good news. So when it comes to the bread, just make sure you're getting a whole grain bread. Like we said before, not only is it the fiber to help you, to fill you up so you don't get the energy crash and it lasts longer, but there's also all these phytonutrients in the whole grain that really help to prevent heart disease. And research shows that people who eat 3 servings of whole grain a day, so that's just 1 slice of bread is 1 serving. If you have a sandwich, that's 2 servings. If you have 3 servings of whole grain a day, you have a lower incidence of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. So we're all for whole grain breads. The reason that bread's got a bad reputation is most people do overeat them and they eat the wrong ones, the refined ones. And I think she asked about wraps too, right?
Right.
So wraps. Okay, so wraps, they look like they're so good because they're so skinny and thin.
So it looks like you're not getting much bread, but if you've ever unwrapped a wrap, sometimes they're this big. They're monstrous and several hundred calories. The other problem with the wraps is if you're not getting the whole wheat wrap, then often it's the refined white bread, and it's too many calories of this processed grain that we're all getting too much of to begin with. So wraps, again, the wrap, if you can find a whole wheat wrap, a smaller size, sometimes cut in half, that's the trick. The other thing with wraps, keep the protein to lean protein. Sometimes you can add a ton of mayonnaise on and it adds that artery clogging fat, and then also it really adds calories for people who are trying to watch their waistline. It can really add up. But wraps can also be really great if you use salsa for a condiment, or you can put in some avocado, or instead of using, hummus is great too. Think chicken and turkey, and then your lean proteins, egg, all work great in the wrap. So if you can make your own, you have a lot of control there, and that's really the way to go. And then stuff it with the vegetables, because that's always the way to get the fiber and the extra nutrients.
What we have a lot of our clients do is if they go out and they do get a wrap and we have them kind of take a look at it and it turns out that it's super huge, then first of all, don't order rice with a wrap, like rice and beans. You've already got plenty of carbohydrates in your wrap, but cut it in half, eat the inside from both the wraps, but only eat the outside from one of the wraps. So that way you're getting a moderate portion instead of a huge piece of bread.
Okay. At Steffi Social asks, going out for lunch with your boss or coworkers, what's the healthiest, least embarrassing thing to order?
Well, it depends who you are. I mean, nothing embarrasses me. Everything embarrasses her.
She embarrasses me.
Yeah,
I embarrass me.
Truthfully, I think that's why I like to be embarrassing, because then I know I'm embarrassing her. I'm like, well, if she's embarrassed, I'll let her be embarrassed first, and I'll just ride off scot-free.
Most people don't like to be embarrassed, and we hear you there. And probably you don't want to order that salad, maybe is what you're saying you're embarrassed about, but you probably still want to eat something healthfully. So it depends what kind of restaurant you're going to, but always think of going for that grilled fish, maybe with the steamed vegetables. I don't think that's embarrassing, do you?
I don't know. I mean, it depends what are you saying embarrassing? Depends if she's saying something embarrassing is ordering healthy or not being healthy. Depends who her coworkers are. If you're going out with a bunch of yoga instructors and you want to eat badly, I don't know.
Poorly, yeah.
She probably mean you want to eat healthfully, but you don't want to be
the pain.
Yeah.
So always think of going for that fish or that sandwich, that lean, the lean protein. Think of that first. So whether it's the grilled chicken, the grilled fish, the seafood, something like that would be great.
And also, like we said, a sandwich. A lot of people think of sandwich as a really satisfying food, and if you find that you order a sandwich and it just comes on gigantic bread, just eat half or the bottom of it, or not half the sandwich, but half the bread again, and just keep the insides.
Okay, we hope that answered your question.
And we don't want you to be embarrassed, so I really hope it worked.
At Benny Hart asks, what's a good source of vegan protein besides tofu? That is a great question. And a lot of our clients, there's a lot more these days, but a lot of our clients really rely on beans. And beans are great because whether it's chickpeas, lentils, black beans, beans that you can do so much with them. And that even comes down to the hummus. The hummus is great because it's the mashed up chickpeas. But then also there's seitan now, which is a form almost not tofu, but it's pressed soybeans.
Tempeh, and there's beans are really one of the best ways to go. We would think because they're really one of the they're also a way to get fiber as well, so that's very satisfying. And then you don't have to worry about getting too much soy.
And nuts and seeds are great too. You just kind of have to watch it when it comes to the nuts and seeds with the calories, because when it comes to the calories, a quarter cup of some nuts, most nuts can be about 250 calories, and it's easy to eat a cup of nuts and suddenly that's 1,000 calories of, say, maybe you only wanted 1,500 in your day. So they're packed with nutrients, but they're also calorie dense, so that's something to watch out for.
We were basically vegans without even trying, because we could have lived on peanut butter and jelly, and peanut butter is a good source. For some people it's a lot more satisfying than for others. For some people they can have a peanut butter sandwich and be totally satisfied, and some people they need a ton of peanut butter, and like Tammy said, the calories can then really add up. So if you're one of those people that you can't just have a spoon of peanut butter and need to have the whole jar, which we have a lot of clients that say that peanut butter is much more addicting for them than chocolate.
It's a trigger food.
Yeah, for them to really overdo it. Then if that's the case, then we'll just say, watch out.
So that is it for now. We are the Nutrition Twins with Q Coaches for Qinetic.com. Tune in next time and we will be answering your questions. We're looking forward to it.
And remember to use # or the hashtag AskTheTwins.
Bye.
Bye.